What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel, Seasons Change. My name is Ezra if you are new here, and I am just sitting here at Meijer, about to pick up my grocery order so I can head home. But I wanted to come in the beginning of this video and say, hey, I just wanted to come in here now to say that, and we're going to roll into my budget closeout. Truth be told, I did do the video to this already, but I ended up scrapping it because all kind of stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna sit here and wait for my groceries to come, and then the next clip you see will be me doing my budget closeout. All right, you guys, I am home. I have gone on ahead and started my meal prep, and now we're gonna go ahead on and get my budget closeout out the way for the month of February 2026, while I still have time before my grocery order arrives. So today is February 27th, 2026. My final paycheck for the month of February, I did receive it on the 20th. So I'm going to zoom you all in so you can see the calendar. Okay. So everything that is highlighted in green was paid for, and I'll share with you which checks what was paid on. So my mortgage for February obviously was due on the 1st. That was paid out of my January, my last paycheck in January. My Discover card was paid for out of my last paycheck in January. Okay. I got paid on February 6th. So my March payment for my electric bill, I'm sorry, not my March payment. My electric bill is due on the 6th of every single month. And since I got paid, this payment that I made was for the month of March. I'm pretty much a month ahead on my utility. Well, depending on how you look at it, I could be a month ahead or a couple of months ahead, depending on the usage. But I am ahead in all of my utility bills. So that was paid. My Apple subscription was paid, Netflix was paid, and my City Number One card was paid with the first paycheck of February. Also, my credit union credit card was paid with the first paycheck of February. Excuse me. And then my payment for my Discover payment for March 1st was also paid out of my February 6th paycheck. My car payment was paid out of my February 6th paycheck, and my water bill was paid out of my February 6th paycheck. When I got paid on the 20th, I paid my car insurance. I paid the other half of my consumer's energy bill, which half of it I did pay up here as well. I paid my Wi-Fi, and I paid my student loan, and I also paid my mortgage payment for the month of March. So everything listed here has been paid for. And so now we're going to just go into the budget breakdown for the last paycheck. And I do want to share with you how much I did pay on my City card, that I could not, I really couldn't tell you how much I was going to pay on the 6th because the card did not the statement didn't close to the 8th, and I didn't get it until the 10th. So I will let you know how much I did pay on my City Number One card. Hold on. Okay, so this is the budget for my first paycheck of the month. And as you can see down here, my City Number One card, I was budgeting to pay $260, and I actually paid $267.23. This was paid on February 10th. So I remember telling you that I will come back and let you know how much I paid once I received my statement, and that's how much it was that I had to pay. Now, I believe the balance was, the minimum payment was like $239, something like that. So obviously I paid a little bit more on that particular bill. Now, there was a change in my consumer's energy bill. So normally I pay $80 every 2 weeks. However, when I looked at my bill, I noticed that, I think I told you with the last paycheck budget that my bill was $23 over what my monthly budget, that I normally pay. So even though I had a credit, I still wanted to make sure I figure out a way to make that $23 up. So what I decided to do was to go ahead on and pay $5 more with this particular paycheck. Also, at the same time I made this payment, I was notified that the service protection plan that I have on several of my appliances, that cost is going up, and it's going up by $8. So instead of me paying $160 a month for my gas bill, I'm going to push that up between $170 and $175. That's just to cover that appliance service protection plan because it is separate from my gas bill, but it is included overall in my gas bill. I was also notified that my homeowner's insurance is going up. I think I mentioned that in a previous video. Homeowner's insurance is going up by $40, so I have to change how much I pay for my mortgage. It's not a whole lot, but because I'm already kind of starting at a deficit due to my due to my property taxes increasing, I gotta kind of increase that as well. So I may increase it from $10.50 to $10.60 just to kind of put a little extra in there, or maybe even $10.70. We will see. I have not made up my mind. We will figure it out when I do my March budget overview. My car insurance is actually going down. Since I have my homeowner's insurance and my car insurance with the same place, I guess, and I have a AAA membership, I guess something had to go down. So there was my car insurance that went down. So I'm not complaining about that. Student loan was paid. Apple, Netflix was all paid. So we are good there. And I do remember telling you that out of this $209 that was supposedly going to be remaining out of this budget here of $1,560 from my last paycheck, that I was going to go ahead on and take 100 of those dollars and put it on my city card. What I ended up doing was waiting to the end of the month. Once everything was paid and processed, I went on ahead and made that additional $100 payment. Okay, so let's go through the rest of this month's closeout. Okay, so let me zoom you all in a little bit. So as you know, I budget $1,560 every 2 weeks with my paycheck as far as my bills are concerned. So that is a total of $3,120 for the month. My emergency fund, I have $30 from my paycheck that automatically goes to my emergency fund. So for the month of February, it was a total of $60 that went into my emergency fund. My savings fund is more like my personal savings account. And I actually had thought, first of all, I initially had $25 going in there every pay period. Then I took it down to $20. Then I took it down to $10. And then I took it down to $5. And I don't remember when I took it down to $5. But so that meant it was $10 a month going in there, not 20. Yeah, y'all. So anyway, I did just up it to $10 a paycheck. So starting with my first pay in March, instead of just $5 coming out of the account, it is going to be, instead of $5 coming out of my paycheck, it's going to be $10 per paycheck coming out of my account. So this right here was all wrong. Okay, it was just all wrong. Okay. That's what happens when you have the ability to go in and switch your deductions and whatnot of, where you want to put your money. And I just completely forgot. I thought I changed it, but apparently I didn't hit the submit button. I just didn't hit the submit button. So when I went in this past week and noticed it, I was like, oh, okay. So it's just $5 a paycheck going in there. Let me switch that to 10. It may not sound like a lot. And at this point is not a lot. But at the end of the day, when you just leave it alone and let it accrue, it will do something. I mean, granted, we all could use an extra $50, $100 somewhere down the line, whether it takes us 2 months, 3 months, 4 months to get that extra $100. We can use that, especially in today's economy, right? Okay. So as I stated, I had already did this before and recorded it, didn't like it. I think I said that. If I didn't, yeah, I recorded it already, didn't like it. So I'm re-recording it. So as far as the mortgage for the month, that was paid. This was for my March mortgage payment. My utilities, I had budgeted $425. I spent $427.71. That is because I am charged a $2.71 service fee for paying my $75 water bill payment online. My car insurance is really $158.88. I just was 22 cents, y'all. I just rounded it up and I paid the $158.88 or $159. I believe my car insurance starting in March will be at $152 a month, or $153. I'll just round it up to that. Car payment was $479.02. Nothing I can do about that. Debt payments. As far as the amount that I was budgeting to pay on my credit cards, $620 was done. That was done. But y'all know I made some extra payments. And when I do my debt confession at the end of March, you will see where my balances are on all of my credit cards. Student loan payment, that came out. So my total fix of the budgeted amount was $2,753.02. The actual was $2,755.73. And of course, that is because of that $2.71 charge. Down to my variable expenses, my gas. So I didn't use the full $80, excuse me, for the gas. But what I did was whatever was left, I put it in my sinking fund for my car. If you've seen a couple of videos ago, I shared with you that I have 4 sinking funds, and one of them is my car, Vashti. So whatever extra I have left, not extra, but whatever I have left over, what I do not use as it relates to the money I had set aside for gas, it goes in that envelope. And right now, Vashti is sitting at a good $500 some odd right now. But I can tell you, I know in May, about 300 of that is going to be coming out because she was cutting up. Apparently, the tire pressure sensor does not like extreme cold because it kept going off in my car on 2 of my tires. So I'm going to get them. They haven't done it since it has warmed up, since the snow has pretty much melted. It hasn't done it, but when I go get my oil changed in May, I'm going to have them check that. So I already know if it has to be replaced, if one has to be replaced or both of them have to be replaced, I'm going to be paying between $200 and $400 just on this little thing, this little sensor on my tires. Yeah, y'all, groceries. I budgeted $120. I did spend way more than that. Well, I shouldn't say way more, but I did spend more than that. But what I ended up going over came out of my tax refund money. So you could say we were on point right here. My subscriptions, which was Netflix and Apple, $20.98. So my total variable was $228.98. The total budgeted amount was $2,974, but it ended up being $2,976.71. And when you subtract $29.76.71 from $31.20, you have this $143.29. And I did take that $100 and move it to my Citi card once everything, well, actually 2 days before everything posted after my last paycheck. So everything is good. We are well and in the black with this particular paycheck or with this particular month. So we are in the black. We are good. Now, I do remember telling you that I was going to share with you my expense tracking or my expense tracker for the month of February. So you can see I was not doing any frivolous spending. I did do some frivolous spending, but the spending that I did do was because they were for several items that I needed and many more items that I wanted. And I will explain that. Excuse me. So this gap right here where you don't see this green writing where it says tax refund, this gap, anywhere that there's a gap, that is, those are expenses that were included in my budget. So for example, my Apple subscription, Netflix, my car payment, my credit union credit card, my water bill, my gas bill, my Discover credit card bill, my electric bill, my Citi #1 card, groceries, Citi #1 card, my other credit union, not my other, but my one credit union credit card. And then on the back, there was another Discover card payment, another grocery bill, another gas bill payment, and my internet, my AT&T. Wherever there's nothing written on the side, that was planned payments. Those were planned budgeting payments. Everything else was tax refund. I did not need these t-shirts, but I bought them. I wanted them, but I paid for them out of a tax refund. So that is okay. My state of Michigan registration and tab, I paid out of my tax refund every single year. It went up. I don't know how the park pass went from $11 to $15, but oh well. I got it. I paid it out of my tax refund. My AAA membership was $133 because I went with the Premier. I always had the AAA Plus, and I normally keep the membership just for the towing package. And because of the issue that I've had with my tires, and then prior to a year and a half ago or something to that effect, I had a brake booster issue problem. Yeah, we're gonna make sure I'm covered more than 100 miles just in case. So I increased my membership to $133. That came out of my tax refund. My City Number One card, my additional payment. So my main payment right here was $267.23. And then out of my budget, I went on ahead and paid an additional $52. And then out of my tax refund on my City Number One card, I paid an additional $550. I turned around and paid on my City Number Two card, which was at a zero balance, but I purchased a DJI camera that I wanted. I got it as an early birthday gift. My birthday is not until April, but I was tired of waiting. I've been waiting to get this camera for 2 years. So I went on ahead and just put it on my credit card, knowing that I was going to pay for it with my tax refund. I know you say, why didn't you just wait until you got your tax refund? The price of this camera kept fluctuating from $1,200 to $900. And at the time that I bought it, it went down to it went up from $898 to $952. And I was like, I'm not taking a chance. I'm gonna go ahead on and order it. I ordered it, and the next day it went up to like $1,100. So I'm glad I went on ahead and got it. However, I did put it on my City Number Two card, but I paid it back with my tax refund. I know some say, well, no, you shouldn't have did that. But this is what I wanted. This was a birthday gift for me. I deserve it and I earned it, okay? The next tax refund, I think I told you all before that I had to pay my lawn guy. I normally have to pay him out of my tax refund because of the amount of money he charges me. So that was $2,750. I did let him know that the crew that he had last year did some damage to my garage, and he's going to repair that damage at no charge. This does include 3 hedge cuts, and he charges me $250 each hedge cut. And the third one came in because last year, even though it was pretty dry because of the high heat we had, or the severe heat we had, my hedges still grew like crazy. So he had to throw a third cut in there. And then he's going to be doing my mulch replacement. I did not do any mulch replacement last year. And I explained to him this year when he came to pick up the check that I did not appreciate that the crew that he hired blew all of my mulch out of my mulch beds, and it was all in my grass. And that they did not do the fall cleanup properly. So he took half the charge of the fall cleanup and spring cleanup off of my bill, even though it don't look like it, he did. But he also may be putting some sod in my backyard, just a small portion of sod in my backyard. But I'm thinking that might not be the issue. It might be this tree. That's an issue. So I'm waiting for the electric company to come and just cut it down for free, because I ain't paying no $2,700, $2,800, $3,000 for this tree to get cut down. I'm not doing it. The electric company say they can cut it down for free because it's interfering with the wires. Cut it down for free. Anyway, let me zoom you in so you can see. I had to pay my snow contractor $350, and the reason for that is because I thought I was going to sell my house last year, so I only had him contracted from November 1st until the time frame that I thought I would be moved out of this house. Unfortunately, I did not sell the house, so I had to go get a secondary contract, and he charged me $350, so I paid him out of my tax refund. I put a $200 payment, on my City Number One card using my tax refund. And then again, another $200 payment on my City One card using my tax refund. I did go to the grocery store, went to Meijer, and this is part of what I got from my grocery bill. So this $71.93, this is what came out of the tax refund. And then my City Number Two card, which was some books that I got from the book outlet. I spent $101.07. That was paid for by my tax refund. And then this one, even though it's green right here, I scratched it out. This was the $100 that came out of the overall monthly budget. And then the last one, Citi card number 2, this was my second Amazon order, $367.07. That was paid out of my tax refund. This included a lot of books that I've been wanting for the last year and a half, 2 years. It included some more baking pans or baking sheets. It included some blackout film, and I think that was it. It was mostly books. These are books that I've been wanting to get, like I said, for the last 2 years. So that's what I spent all of my money on, as far as my tax refund, as far as my budgeted money. So yes, there were some things here that were not necessary, not needed, not really wanted, but I decided to treat myself, because after my birthday, treating myself is done for the year until I get this credit card paid off. So I did make another Amazon purchase for the remaining books that I wanted, along with, I have a camera for my car, and the suction cup for whatever reason stopped sticking to my window, and I thought it was because it got so hot last summer, but it wasn't sticking when it was cold. So I ended up ordering me another suction, and then I ordered another camera mount just in case it was the actual mount, if I needed to replace that as well. And it's a double camera, so I can look. I got a camera in the back window of my car, and the camera is up in the front, and I can switch the views if I want to. So I got that. Like I said, some baking pan. No, I didn't get the baking pans out of this one. I had to get me a new scale because my current scale is busted. I don't know what's going on with it. So I just got a new scale. And what else? I think that was pretty much it. The scale, the last few books, I think it was 4 or 5 books that I wanted. One of them was on Shirley Chisholm. The other one was on Miss Fannie Lou Hamer. And I forget, there was another one that's like a historical type book. But that was it. That is it, you guys. That is my budget closeout for the month of February. We are all good. Even though, I probably got to spend some money on my car, on Vashti, because she's just like, she wants some attention. Again, apparently, she likes going to the dealership, But at least I have the money saved up for it. I will say that as far as my balance on the credit card that I am focused on paying off, it is lower than I expected it to be by this time of the year. So I'm excited about that. Where is this cat going? I am so sick and tired of these cats in my yard. If I could show y'all this cat, I would. But my windows are dirty, and I don't need y'all talking about me. But I know exactly where this cat going. And I cannot wait until spring gets here, because I'm going to cut all this vegetation off. And I'm going to spray this doggone fence where this vegetation is with some peppermint oil. I don't want to harm these things, but y'all, and I know it's probably some cat lovers here. And this cat is spraying its territory. I know some cat lovers here, I'm quite sure. But I have a severe allergy to cats. I have an absolute severe allergy to cats. This is somebody's cat. I do know that. My reaction to cats is the same reaction I have when I'm around seafood and or peanuts or peanut butter. It's not good. It's not good at all. So, no offense to you all who are cat lovers, but I hate house cats. I love big cats, but I hate house cats. Anyway, with that, you all, I'll see you in another video. Take care. Bye.